Ciao tutti! E bentornati sul mio canale.
Oh, jeez, you need to get a job with the Italian soccer team, man.
Welcome back to Behind the Barn, everybody. We have a very special guest for you today on episode 4. This is the Italian Stallion, the vocal extraordinaire. This is Mr. Nic Cassetta. How you doing, Nick?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me, Cam.
Thank you for coming on. We appreciate you.
My pleasure, my pleasure. My pleasure.
Let's get familiar with you. Where are you from, Nick?
Well, I was raised right here in Rockcastle County. I was born in Detroit, Michigan. Came here, I've been in Kentucky since I was 13, so this has been my home for the longest time. But mostly I'm from my mom and dad.
That's a good answer. We like that there. I don't know how to ask this question. It's
Just
what band
ask
are
it.
you a part of? But
Well, I've got Nic Cassetta Co, which is my full country band. Then I've got Straw Dogs, which is my rock band. And then I've got just Nic Cassetta music that I do solo stuff. And I've got a duo acoustic that I do with Nightshade.
it's got a lot of bands.
Yeah, man.
How long you been playing music?
Ever since I can remember, but I didn't start playing out on stage and perform until 2019.
Really?
Yeah, that was my first show. I was working security at a place called Smokin' Joe's, and Steve Dooley of Straight Shot came in. His band was playing at the bar I was bouncing at, and the guy that I was bouncing with said, "Hey man," told Steve Dooley, he's like, "You got to hear this guy singing." I was like, "No, man." And next thing I know, Steve gets up on stage. He's like, "Where's Nico at?" And so I got up and we did 4 or 5 songs, and before I stepped off stage, the owner, he's like, "I want to book you every Sunday for the rest of the, So it was my first gig, man. I was playing for 4 hours for $60, man, by myself. And I gave it everything I had. One gig led to another, and then last year I played 250 shows, man.
250?
Yeah, it was wild, man. I didn't sleep half the year, for sure.
We got that Italian espresso
That's right.
and a lot of this stuff.
A lot of liquor, a lot of Italian espresso.
Sometimes together.
And there's always a lot of motivation around every bar, man.
How long you been playing down here at the Silver Eagle?
I think last year, right? I think it was last year.
Sounds right.
Was my first shot I played down here. And I'd come on as a guest player with Dooley and them, and then one show, I think, maybe 2, I don't remember, last year. And then now I'm booked for next year wide open.
Awesome.
It's the way it should be.
That's good. Got a couple questions. You good with that?
Yeah, let's go.
All right. First off, what did you listen to growing up?
A lot of Cash, a lot of Jennings, a lot of Italian music in my early days. And then as I got older, I transitioned into Eagles and Zeppelin and Skinner, and then 90s country. A lot of rock, Everclear, Van Halen. Aerosmith was a huge one, Guns N' Roses, Tesla, Skid Row. I mean, I listened to everything, man. NWA, Eazy-E. I mean, I listened to everything that came my way.
Do you have a favorite band of all time? If you had to
the
pick
band
one.
that I play with right now. But as far as the bands I've ever played with, this band here is probably the best because it's so versatile, man. And I mean, there's so many angles you can go. It's one of the best bands that I've ever played in.
Who you got in Nic Cassetta Co right now?
One of my guitar players is named Chris Ruckert. He's an old-fashioned classic rock picker. And then Travis Smith, he's a B-bender, chicken picking kind of guy. And then Dave Howard's my bass player, one of the best bass players around. And then Barry Peters is the drummer. And tonight we had special guest Steve Smith playing with us.
Second question, being the vocalist, what is your favorite song to sing live?
That's a hard one too, because I love every song, and I don't have like one absolute favorite. But when somebody throws a curveball at me, they're like, "Hey, can you do this song?" It becomes my favorite song. In that moment, man, I live for the moment.
You're the best. I love this guy, man.
I love you too, brother.
We're going to go a little deeper here. You ready?
Yeah, let's go.
Why does Nic Cassetta play music?
Because it's the only thing I'm halfway good at. No, I've always just been attracted to music, man. It's always been something I've loved to do, and like Alan Jackson said, man, when the crowd's into it, it makes the thing I'm doing seem right, man, standing in the spotlight. That's all I can do halfway decent, man. Everything else I suck at.
There's nothing else?
No, I suck at everything, man.
That's not a good mindset to have.
That's a great mindset because I put all my focus in music this way, see?
This one's a cool one. This one hasn't been asked yet. Describe your sound in one sentence.
Electric dynamite on the face of the cosmos.
Electric dynamite on the face of the cosmos?
Yeah.
That is the dopest answer I've ever recorded. That's the name of the next album, ladies and gentlemen. Electric Dynamite. What'd you say, On the Face of the Cosmos?
On the Face of the Cosmos.
Let's go. You get 3 dead musicians. Who are you picking for your super band?
Call them off in order, and I'll go with you. You tell me what order to call them off in.
Drummer.
Drummer, John Bonham. John Bonham's my favorite drummer of all time.
Any particular reason why?
He's just a monster, man. I mean, there's nobody that could match his skills. And there still hasn't been nobody that can match his skills as far as I'm concerned. That's what it is for me. Imagine John Bonham in his prime, alive today, with the ability to learn and move forward in his skill. How good do you think he would be?
Probably pretty good.
I think that's an understatement.
Yeah, you're probably right there. We got John Bonham. Next up, bass player.
We have to have a bass. Kurt Chapman.
Interesting pick.
Yep, Kurt Chapman's the best bass player around.
Guitar player.
Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Ooh, what a band.
Could you imagine?
Bonham and Stevie Ray?
Could you imagine?
I can't.
My face is melting thinking about it.
Coming soon to a city near you, John Bonham.
Kurt Chapman and Stevie Ray Vaughan. The Singing Bastards.
This next one is also a first-time question.
All right.
What is one thing you wish you would have known sooner in the music business?
One thing I wish I'd have known sooner is that it's okay to name your price. I've played a lot of shows for a very little money in the past. and I wish if I would have known that, I'd have probably had a lot more fun.
Yeah.
Just say that.
I think this is my favorite of the miscellaneous questions. Tell me about your worst gig or your most embarrassing moment, or both.
I was asked by a friend of mine to play a show with her. Before every show, I try to do a shot of something just to get in the headspace.
Take the edge off.
Yeah, and there was a gentleman sitting there, and he just kept sending me shots. I had a double shot of Patron, is what it was. And I think I drank 40 shots that night, and I had a roadie at the time, and I looked at him before going into the last set, and I was like, grab me as soon as the last chord is struck and we're done. I said, just take me straight to the vehicle. Literally, as soon as I played that last chime, man, he grabbed me and carried me out to the car. And that was the end of it, man. It was bad. People kept coming out and checking on me. Everything was just in flashes. And I'm like, get away, just leave me alone. I'm good, leave me alone. Worst moment, man.
Just fetal position
Just
somewhere.
drinking too much, you know.
Next up, y'all know what time it is. It is the Backyard Bonfire segment. These are user-submitted questions and viewer-submitted questions. Be sure to leave yours down in the comment section below. Coming up first, we have, it's coming from Miss Deborah, your guilty pleasure song. What do you listen to?
Texas Flood by Stevie Ray Vaughan on repeat all the time. I also like the Woods Brothers. It's a really cool group, you know. I don't know. I listen to my own stuff a lot.
That's the guilty pleasure
The
song.
guilty pleasure is my own stuff. Loud up as it'll go driving down the road.
You can't listen to yourself. What are you doing?
Yeah, man, get the heck out of the business.
Next up, your musical hot take or otherwise unpopular musical opinion.
Oh yeah, Nashville. Yeah, that's that. I get so tired of the propaganda bullshit, man. You know, Nashville this and Nashville that. I had a bunch of guys come up to me and they were like, Kentucky's the next Nashville and we're going to be right up there in the front lines. I said, well, y'all have fun. They said, well, you'll be up there too. I said, the hell I will. And the reason is because they want to tell you who you're going to play for and when you're going to play. I do this because I love it, and I do it because people that hear me love it, and we can all have fun together. That's what life's about. Because I wrote a song called "Good Time," and the hook line in it is, "We're not here for a long time, so while we're here, we ought to have a good time." And I feel like Nashville has taken music. It's like having a sick animal that you're working to death. That's Nashville to me.
Interesting analogy. This one's a cool one. You get 3 wishes from a genie. What are you choosing?
God.
I'd assume you can't wish for more wishes.
Yeah, I don't need more. I would wish all my family and friends that were close to me lived a healthy life and died a peaceful death. That would be my first wish.
Okay.
My second wish would be that I had enough money to support those around me and support myself for the rest of my days. And my third wish, cocaine and whores, probably, to be honest. We're being honest here. That's where I'm going to go with that.
The first 2 answers were so wholesome. Good health, good fortune, cocaine and whores.
Yeah, I gotta take care. I gotta give myself at least a third of it.
That's fair. This one's an odd one. It hasn't been asked yet. We'll go with your full name. What is your full name, but more importantly, the middle name?
Nicola Luciano Cassetta. Named after my grandfather.
That's so cool. This one is another viewer submitted question. The viewer being me. Favorite dish of all time, food-wise?
Oh, damn.
What you got?
I like to cook for myself. It's hard for me to eat out anywhere. I make my steaks. After somebody eats my steak, they can't eat steak anymore out anywhere. And the only thing I do is I take my steak and I bring it room temperature. I use a little bit of Worcestershire sauce.
Okay.
And I let them sit in that. And then I add salt and pepper. Then I just either grill them or I'll broil them in the oven, depending on what I'm doing. 5 minutes on each side. And that's it. It's the best steak you'll ever have, man. Don't put all that other junk on it, man. It just makes it, it's just extra. There's no reason for it.
This is information we should pay for, folks.
Definitely.
You're getting it for free right here.
Definitely.
This one coming in from Anthony. Which song do you not like to be requested on stage? Is there one?
No, I don't have a song that I don't like, because everybody has a different taste, and that's what this is about. Is we're not up there as much for ourselves as we are for the people that are listening. If it wasn't for the people listening, then we would have no business being up there. So I think any request that comes at you, you should do, and you should love doing it.
What a noble statement.
But I ain't playing no Backstreet Boys or nothing like that.
You ready for an unorthodox question?
Let's do it.
Boxers or briefs, Mr. Cassetta?
Commando.
This one's a cool question. What is one thing that you haven't accomplished yet, but you wish to accomplish musically?
I would love to set an example for local artists here close by and far away, just local artists all over, to know that it's okay to play and enjoy it and not have a goal to be in some sort of setting that tells you that you have to be have to be this good to play in this. There's a lot of great musicians out there that don't ever reach TV or pop culture, and that's okay. Be that musician that you are. Play that venue you're playing. Life's too short for all that.
You heard it. Heard it here first. Last up, we got upcoming shows and dates. What you got going on in your life?
Tomorrow night, I'm at Nuevo's in Richmond doing a solo show at the Mexican restaurant. I guess the big shows will be, I'll be back here December 30th at the Eagle. And then the 31st, I'll be playing Will's Grill and Chill for New Year's Eve.
And of course, you can find all the dates for us here at the Silver Eagle with Nic Cassetta and Company. We're going to have that on the Facebook and the upcoming events up next year. Make sure you keep an eye out for that. Nic Cassetta Music on Facebook. You can find those there as well. You want to do this outro with me?
What do we do?
We're going to do something grand.
1,
2,
3. Silver Eagle!
Thank you very much.
Thanks, brother. That was fun, man.